Hey, what's up guys? Gangster Driller here. So today we're going to be working on a ring that needs to be sized to an 8, looks like. And it looks like, is that a blue sapphire or is that garnet? Or black onyx? Looks like that might be garnet. Yeah, it looks like it might be garnet. Anyways, so that is a heat sensitive stone. But we're not too worried about it because we're going to be working down here. Now, if we were building prongs, we'd probably have to take that stone out, build the prongs, then reset the stone. But we ain't got to take it out because we're going to be doing most of our work down here. So, it says we're sizing to an 8. I think that's what it said. 8? Yeah, 8. So let's see what size it is now. It's about a 10 1/4. It's a 10 1/4. Well, so we're going to an 8. So we're going 2 sizes. Now, if I wanted, I'm not a dickhead. If I wanted to be a dickhead, I could technically say that's another size and be 3 sizes, but we're not going to do that. We're not like that, guys. So we'll just call it 2 sizes. But it's actually going 2 1/4 sizes, but we'll call it 2. Alright, guys. So let's go ahead and get our 2 1/4 out here. 2 1/4. There we go. And we're just going to mark the bottom 2 1/4 sizes. Make 2 nice lines. And I don't know if you guys can see that. I got a line there and we got a line there. Now if you got a saw, go ahead and use a saw. If you got cutters, cut them if you got them. I think that could be another shirt that we could make. Cut them if you got them. Now, for full disclosure, I know I've had a couple people ask. They say, hey, when you got a ring going down, see that piece has to come out to make it smaller. What do you do with the clippings? So, I keep the clippings for one reason. One, it helps me keeps gold. I can make sizing stock, stuff like that. 2, for what I charge, which for full disclosure, I charge $25 a size, which you guys know that's fairly cheap. You know, usually it's $40 a size, sometimes higher. But I keep the clippings because I charge $25 a size. If I keep the clippings, that allows me to charge $25 a size, and it makes sure I don't run out of gold. So I don't have to buy gold. I can always have sizing stock, stuff like that. And most jewelers do that. I'm not going to say all do, but most do. But what they do though is they'll usually keep the clippings and still charge $40 a size. No, I'm fair. I try to be fair. If I'm keeping the clippings, I'm charged $25 a size. Now that's also going up as well. So if I'm going up and I'm having to add gold, I'm also still only charging $25 a size. And I know you guys are going to say, well, that's fucking ridiculous. But if I do it this way, I can do that. Now, if I wasn't able to keep these, I wouldn't be able to do that. So that's just full disclosure, you know, because I've had a couple people. I thought I mentioned that in another video, which I think I did. But I just wanted to kind of go over it again, you know, so you kind of know what I charge, you know why, and how I'm able to do that. So, and most of the time it's not even really big pieces like that anyways. It's just little itty bitty pieces. And then too, a lot of the gold that you grind, that's why you want a desk to catch it all, because you can do bench sweeps and you can send it to the refiner and you can make a little money that way as well. So, but just full disclosure, like I said, we ain't got nothing to hide here. I'm even giving you all my prices and probably have people out there trying to compete with me, but that's all right. That's okay. You know what? Actually, I already did have somebody a while back. This was before I had closed down the store that we had over on Timuquana. So I had a price sheet. I went around to all the Value Ponds, Cash Americas. I went around to all the different stores. And I'm not gonna, I guess this guy's name is Bob. But basically what he did is somehow, and at this time, now keep in mind, at this time, I had only given these flyers out to Cash America and Value Pond. They're the only ones that had them. So somebody at Cash America and Value Pond had given this dude my price sheet. He didn't even have the balls to change the prices. All he did was change the name at the top from Robert's Jewelry Repair to Bob's. That's all it said was Bob's. And then went around passing that shit out. And I was like, you know what, dude? I was like, you know, you could at least change it up a little bit. Like had everything in the same order and everything. All I did is just change the name up top. But yeah. But you know, in this, as much as I hate to say it, man, in this business, everybody don't give a shit about quality. All they care about is price. And a lot of times in this business, what you pay for is what you get. And you get a lot of shit work. We don't do that here. We charge fair prices. I like to say we do Class A work. Yeah, that's just something that brought memories back. We're just filing the sides down right now. Brought memories back. This was several years ago. This had to have been more than 10 years ago. I don't even know if that guy's still going around using my price sheet. I have no idea. But that's the way it's going to be, man. You know, you have to put your price out there so people know. But just know you're going to have people that steal your price sheet too. It just fucking happens. This bitch has been in bleach or chlorine at one time or another. Look at that. Right there. That shouldn't have broke that easy like that. Yep. That's a real bitch. Yep, this has been in bleach or chlorine. Alright, so here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to weld that bottom part, and then we're going to have to weld that side right there. Because just that little bit of bending shouldn't have broke that like that. If it's breaking that easy, then that means it's definitely been in bleach or chlorine at one time. Alright, let's go ahead and get the bottom welded first, and then we will worry about that side. It's not a big deal, it's just a little more extra work we're going to have to do. So let's go ahead and get our number 5 tip here. We're going to be using a 5 tip for this one. Alright, let's go ahead and cut us some solder here. Make sure you're using the right color solder for the right color ring you're welding together. Put us a little bit of flux on there. Gotta adjust the camera a little bit, guys. Alright, let's go ahead and weld this bottom first, and then we'll worry about that crack on the side there. Which you guys have seen, I've had rings going down 3-4 sizes that had to be ovaled and oblonged and didn't crack on the side like that. If they crack that easily, you know they've been in bleach or chlorine. Alloys have been ate out of the metal. Let's go ahead and get the bottom welded first here. But at least we now know that we have to be a little extra careful with it because it has been in bleach or chlorine at some point. And most of the time it's going to be swimming pools. You know, some people will like wear their rings when they're doing dishes, and they'll put it in bleach water and stuff like that. But a lot of times it's going to be swimming pool. They'll wear their jewelry, get in the swimming pool, and it don't take too much of that before it starts cracking and falling apart on you. Alright, I think we got that bottom part welded. Now we can't dip that in water because that stone will shatter. So we'll have to let that naturally cool off for a minute. And let's just take a look, make sure it's welded through the bottom, which it is. Yep, it is. I say I can't believe, I can believe it, that section cracked like that. But see, that is very much bleach chlorine damage right there. See that right there. It's not a big deal, it's fixable, but it is what it is, guys. And that doesn't mean the ring is bad. It doesn't make the ring bad. It just gotta be a little more extra careful with it, that's all. It's still pretty hot. Alright, we got that back down flat again. So now what we need to do is we need to weld that spot right there and on the side there. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. We didn't dip it in water, so we don't need to re-boric acid denatured alcohol it. Let's go ahead and get us some flux here. Right there. All right. Let's go ahead and cut us a piece of solder here. Might need 2 pieces, but we're going to do 1 for now. You know, it's crazy though. I've been seeing some pieces that are getting harder and harder to work on. The ones that aren't easy, they're always hard. But it's people that are holding on to their jewelry because they can't afford to buy new jewelry. And people are holding on to their jewelry a lot longer, and some of these pieces are just so messed up. But I mean, I get it. I get it, you know. Let's go ahead and grab our solder. And go ahead and zoom in here. And like I said, being it was in bleach or chlorine, it's not a big deal. But it shouldn't have cracked that quite that easily bending, because we didn't do very much bending at all. Like you guys have seen, I've went down 4 sizes, had them ovaled, and they didn't crack like that. When they crack that easily, it's usually going to be bleach or chlorine, but not a big deal. It's fixable, you know. Alright, I think we got that through. Zoom you guys out, take a look at it here. See, it went, looks like it went through the side too. Nice. Alright. We're going to have to let that cool off for a minute. Let that cool off for a second. Ooh, still hot. Let that sit there for a minute on the mandrel. Can't dip it in water because of that. It's either black onyx or garnet. It looks more like garnet. I see like a little bit of brown in it. But maybe my eyes are deceiving me. Either way, whether it was a garnet or a black onyx, you can't put it in water. It'll shatter when it's hot. So I'm going to have to let that naturally cool down. I made a video about it. Remember, the only stones you can put in water when your ring is scalding hot or jewelry is scalding hot, it's going to be diamonds. Just remember, red, white, and blue. So diamonds, like blue sapphire and ruby, they'll take heat. They'll take heat. Diamonds are the only ones I would recommend, like actually dipping in water to cool them off. Sapphires and rubies, I wouldn't dip them in water when they're hot, but you can put heat to them, like if you're trying to build prongs and stuff. But that's just little things you learn by just doing. You know, I can tell you, but until it becomes muscle memory in your brain, you're gonna have some fuck ups. There's just no way around it. Just know if you're starting out, you're gonna have some fuck ups. That's why I said you want to work on other people's, not other people's, your own jewelry, or like family members first. Then when you get a little more comfortable, start doing other people's like easy repairs, like chain welds, jump rings, stuff like that. Then you can get up into stone setting and prongs when you're comfortable with that. You know, just kind of work your way up, because you're not going to be able to do it all right away. You know, I want to say when I started out 30 years ago, it probably took me, I want to say it was probably a good 2 years before I was comfortable welding chains and doing bracelets for other people. And then it probably took a good 5 to 7 years before I was comfortable setting stones, doing prongs, some of the harder stuff, you know, ring sizing, up and down, stuff like that. Actually cut a seat for stone, stuff like that, or cut a seat for the prongs if you don't have a seat already cut, and different things like that. So it's going to take some time, man. If you're gonna get in this, so you got to be all in. You want to be all in. You can't half-ass it. You either got to be all in or don't get in at all. It's just the way it is. Because if you half-ass it, you're just never you're never going to get where you really need to be. All right, let's see if this thing's cooled off enough. Yeah, it's cooled off enough now. All right, now we need to straighten this shank out a little bit. So let's go ahead and tap over here, see if we can straighten it out a little bit here. Alright, looks like shit right now, but we got the bottom welded. We've got this part here welded. And what we're going to do now is try to get it to an 8 first. Get it rounded out real good with our rubber mallets. Hey, we did this one good, guys. We didn't have to recut it and take a little more out like the last one. And that's where you want it to be. You want it to be about a quarter size smaller. You don't want it to be right at an 8, because by the time you file and everything, then it'll be bigger than an 8. So you always want to be about a quarter size smaller than where you're going. This is a nice ring though, it really is. It's a unique ring. Very unique. You know, it's funny, a lot of people don't realize what goes into, you know, when they watch some of these videos and they're like, I didn't know that's what all went into welding a chain or sizing a ring or building prongs, and I didn't know you had to put fire to my jewelry. It's like, yeah, that's how it's done, but a lot of people just, they just don't know, you know. Now, you got some people that don't know how to size rings, and they think they do because they got a ring stretcher. I've seen this shit before out at the flea market. This dude had a ring stretcher where he was just stretching the rings, man. And these people were pissed off because you can't, like, if you got a ring like this that has stones in it, you can't stretch it. You got to cut and take a piece out, or you got to add a piece in if you're going up. Like this ring right here, being that it's a little brittle from bleach chlorine damage. If somebody was to stretch this, the whole thing would have just cracked. We wouldn't have had just that one little crack that showed up right there. We would have had a major catastrophe. The only rings that you can stretch up are going to be plain bands. If you got plain bands, you can shrink them and stretch them without having to cut them. Other than that, if it's got stones in it, you're going to have to cut it and either take a piece out if you're going down, add a piece if you're going up. But don't try to stretch anything but a plain band. That's the only thing. All right. So we're at about an 8, and we're at about an 8 there. Okay. Let's go ahead and file this inside down a little bit. But at least the bleach and chlorine damage isn't very bad on this, so this ring is still in pretty good shape. When you got them in your hand and they're just literally crumbling in your hand, then you got a problem. I had a necklace on here a while back that I made a video where the necklace is just all but crumbling apart. Alright. It's an 8. It's an 8. Alright, let's go ahead and switch to our outside rock. Alright, now let's take a file and see if we can get these sides filed down even. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Now, you know, it's kind of funny. I won't say what store this is, but I'm sure they wouldn't mind if I said, but I don't want to be putting people's business out there. But it's kind of funny when I started doing this store, when I first had mentioned to them about jewelry repair, they were kind of, I could tell they were very hesitant, because I mean, they knew who I was, but they didn't really know that I did jewelry repair, and I know they were kind of hesitant. So they gave me a ring to rhodium plate, and I could tell the guy that the ring belonged to, he was very hesitant to give it to me, like I wasn't going to bring it back. And I don't blame him, man. It's hard to trust people nowadays. I get it. But I'd like to think that so what I did is I got it back the same day for him. And I think that put their mind at ease a little bit. And I want to say it's been a pretty good relationship so far, you know. At least that's what I think anyways. But I think they have a little more trust in me now. But yeah, they didn't really know that I did jewelry repair. And they were a little hesitant at first, which I do not blame them. I would be too. Nowadays, it's hard to know who you can trust and who you can't, you know. So I 100% get it. 100% I get it. It's starting to come into shape, guys. It's starting to look pretty good. What we're doing is we're just slowly filing the sides down so they meet even. Because remember, our ultimate goal is we don't want to be able to tell where it was even sized at. That should be your ultimate goal. Alright, let's work on this other side a little bit. But hopefully you guys are, hopefully some of you newbies are learning something, and I hope maybe some of the veterans out there, maybe you're learning something that maybe you didn't know. But if you've been doing this a while, you might do things a little bit differently, but it's going to be about the same process. You know, some people use different tools for different things. Okay, we need to go across the top here a little bit. Alright, now before we get to smooth this out a little more, round it out a little bit more. Alright, now let's focus our attention to this side here. I'm going to check the size again real quick. It's an 8. Okay, cool. Alright, let's focus our attention to this side real quick here. Just for a minute. Better yet, let's switch to a silicone wheel. And when I'm filming this, it's Sunday, so hopefully everybody's having a good Sunday. Yeah, that turned out nice. I like the way that turned out. Blends in real nice. And we got that crack on the side taken care of. That looks good. Hell yeah, I like that. I'm super happy with that. All right, let's go ahead and smooth the inside of the ring first with our silicone wheel. Take our wedge off. I don't think we're going to be doing any more filing, I don't believe. Alright, let's go ahead and switch to, we got the inside nice and smoothed out now, for the most part. Let's go ahead and switch to our other silicone wheel here. Alright, let's kind of hit the sides a little bit here. Nice. Alright, let's finish polishing or smoothing this side out. Then we might be ready to go polish it up after we drop it in ultrasound for a little bit. Alright guys, let's check our size here. So we are an 8 and we are an 8 on both sides. Alright, so let's go ahead and drop this in ultrasound and we'll polish it up and then we'll come back and look at the finished product, guys. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back with that ring. So we got it nice, clean and polished. Got it sized to an 8. Get our fingerprints off of it. But got a nice clean polish, looking good. But this is another repair down, guys. Oh, also we got the so right here's where it was cracked. You see we got that fixed. Got that taken care of. Wasn't a major issue. Like I said, it's had a little bit of bleach and chlorine damage, but it's not a major amount. So as long as they keep it out of bleach and chlorine, this ring will do fine. Nothing major. But at any rate, guys, this is Gangsta Jeweler. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you'd like to leave a tip or donation, you can. The link for that will be down in the description. Although it's not required, just helps the channel grow and show some love. Also, if you want to check out my... Oh, also, if you'd like for me to do your repairs, you can visit my Etsy shop, which I'll have the link for that down in the description as well. If you happen to be in the Jacksonville area in your store or business and want me to start doing your repairs, just shoot me an email. I'll put that down in the description. And then also, if you're looking to buy jewelry in the Jacksonville area, I highly recommend Money Miser on Blanding Boulevard. And if you're looking to buy jewelry online, I highly recommend Stellar Jewelry, which I'll have a link for that down in the description. But also, if you want to check out my Kick live stream, I have the link for that down in the description. It's more of a reaction channel. And then also my other YouTube channel, which is more of like a, it's a reaction channel as well. And I also live stream there as well. I usually try to stream between 8 and 9 p.m. every night if I can. I can't always, but I try to. But at any rate, guys, we sized this from a 10 1/4 to an 8. They said 10 to an 8, and we're not going to argue over a quarter size. But this is Gangsta Jeweler, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. I think I about covered everything. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Shout out to Alex and my loyal subscribers, man. Appreciate you guys. But this is Gangsta Jeweler, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, y'all.